Hi.
You know what this means? This means that there is another expert who is on our digital show, High Production Value, to talk about how to communicate in the post-COVID world, where everyone is on a Zoom call, everyone is on video, and everyone is trying to connect and convey a message digitally. And so because hand gestures are so important and because charisma is so important, I thought we would talk to the guru of not only body language, but general communication. Angela, who are you, my
Thank you.
communication queen, and what do you do?
Hi, my name is Angela Podolsky. I'm a body language and nonverbal communication expert, founder of Kinesics, and advisor to some other startups.
So I love the way that we met. It was you put me on the spot. I was on stage.
Sizzler, amazing.
I was on stage giving a talk, and I was going about my spiel, and I pace around the stage like a lunatic. And you raised your hand to ask me a question. And I said, "Oh,
Yeah,
what do you do?"
Yeah, because you were talking about examples about cupcakes. If you have a cupcake business, and then
Yeah.
you picked on me, you said, "Well, imagine you have a cupcake business." So for some reason, in your eyes, I look the cupcake girl type. I love eating them. I'm
I
not
was
sure about
wrong.
baking them. Yeah, yeah.
So you
And
call
then
me out, and then I mean, I felt like self-conscious because you're like, oh, I am a nonverbal communication coach expert, and that's how our relationship grew. We had a good laugh on stage,
yeah,
and then our famous LinkedIn picture and so on and so forth. So
yeah.
our history is intertwined in random events, and so you've been up to a lot of cool things. One of the things that I was featured on that I was grateful to be on was the 60-second project. When in a world of unknowns, you asked 60 people to give a 60-second spiel about a tip. Tell us about
That's
how
right.
that project came to be.
When quarantine and COVID-19 hit, we all were in transition and a lot of things happened. And I was asking myself, how can I serve? How can I help? Because I know as a behavior analyst that scarcity and fear and fight and flight cannot coexist in innovation and moving forward. And that's crucial for people and businesses. And we cannot live in a state of fear because our muscles contract, our vision contracts. We cannot create and we cannot think about positivity or how we can move forward. And I really wanted to help people not to be stuck in that and try to move into a state of, okay, what can we do, how we can innovate and connect with others. And so I thought, as we share from around the world how we can create masks, how we can wash our hands properly, and all of those amazing tips, I thought we can maybe share tips of how we deal with things and how we can innovate. And so within 2 weeks, this was, the idea was born literally. I woke up and I'm like, oh, 60 tips in 60 minutes. I was on my bed. I asked my husband, what do you think about that? He said, yeah, that can be good. And so I ran with it and I collected 60 people from around the world, literally India, Israel, London, Paris. And they all came together. They were fantastic, amazing individuals. They just within no time came together, did that. And if you want to keep watching it, it's keep going. It's became a little bit viral, which is fantastic. And you just hashtag 1 minute tip on LinkedIn and people nominate everybody. And so I'm very grateful because I think people can benefit from it.
Yeah, it was almost like a quarantine MBA about change management and how you can get it in 60 minutes. So I appreciated watching that. And so let's switch gears a little bit. Your business, it was always very person to person and personable. I mean, when somebody's with you, they realize that you're very deliberate in the way that you speak, the way you're a trained expert, and so being next to
Thanks.
you sometimes gives you a sense of calm and confidence because you're able to inspire just through your hand movements and
Thank
just
you.
the changes in your voice, the way that you command control of what you're saying.
Oh, you're
That
so
is
kind.
it's a very
Thank you.
in-person thing. COVID happens, everything is online.
Yeah.
Give us your presentation that you would give to corporate America and corporate Canada. Give us those top 5 tips that people should be doing, implementing in every Zoom meeting to be better.
Right. Fantastic question. So yes, all my business was done. So I'm a consultant and I work within companies. I worked with Fortune 500 of Canada and smaller groups as well. And it was mostly all in person. My keynotes, my team trainings were mostly in person. And when that hit, unfortunately, my keynotes, my team were all postponed. Having said that, some of them transitioned online. And what we did is we did nonverbal communication via Zoom, which is extremely important because this time is the best time to connect with people. And I think a lot of people think that connecting is just, let's get on a call and I can be in my bed, which I know people did on my bed, or I can be chilling on my couch like this. And that's not. We human beings are wired to read nonverbal cues. And nonverbal cues are clothing, colors, but it's also our gestures, our intonation. So we have, in general, 5 channels of communication, which is face, body, verbal style, verbal content. What did I say? Face, body, verbal content, verbal style, and tone of voice. So those 5 constantly communicating, and you constantly communicating to the others, but also constantly others read you. We wired like that as human beings. And it's really important to maintain that when you do your Zoom calls. So make sure that your screen is your eye level and it's not on the bottom and it's up your nose, which we've seen that it's not very flattering to you and not building really a good connection with the person you're speaking. As well, make sure you have some space so people can see your hand gestures, because when we Zoom, we don't see the nonverbal, we don't see the feet, so we miss half of it. There's a lack of some connection. So try to make sure that you have kind of what you're doing right up to your core. That's really, really important. As well. Sorry, I have to. Not sure.
It's okay. I know I'm making you nervous.
I know. You always make me nervous, Jamie. And so the next thing is, what you're doing fantastic is, a lot of people, they put this background, the fake background behind them. And I truly against that. Unless you have to, unless you have no choice, then do that. But if you have a choice, even if your background is a little bit messy, it's so much better. And I'll tell you why. It's because when we work in the company, we see people only in the corporate setting. Very rarely we come to their home, to their private life. And when you keep your background neutral, you actually creating a much faster and a much better connection with them than you will ever do in a coffee shop, or if you bring it to your office, because it becomes personal. And when it becomes personal, that's where people do business with you, if they like you, hopefully, or they buy from you or wherever.
I love that. That's such a great tip. We're forced to invite people into our home now, and where they weren't necessarily welcome before. So I think it's such an interesting forced communication or backdrop of our real lives.
Yes.
We can't hide anything anymore. So let's do an activity right now, because as you know, my image has changed quite a bit in the last 2 months. Can you scrutinize, and it could be critical, it could be harsh, break it down. You already said one nice thing about me. I don't think there's going to be many more. Actually, you said 2 nice things. One, I cut off at the core, so I could be or not be wearing pants. No one will ever know. I do talk with my hands quite a bit. I try to follow your lead on that. So I did a talk to Sun Life last week, and one of the things I said was, this is the real Jamie Ben-Ezri now, because this is the way that I'm feeling. I feel COVID. My beard says COVID. My hoodie says COVID. My settings kind of say, makeshift office COVID. What else can I be doing? People feel like me. They look like me, and they don't feel like putting on a suit or whatever. what else can I be doing that people can draw from to not do like me or do like me,
Yeah.
to make it a better experience?
I think there's a good thing that you make them feel that you're in COVID, and so there's an empathy element to it, right? Having
Sure.
said that, you at the same time don't want to go too much into it, because then you say it's okay to be like that, and you set up the stage like that. So you want to make sure that you can empathize and you say, yes, I am COVID. You know what? I may be not wearing pants right now, or I grew my beard. But at the same time, I am moving forward. I am wearing, let's say, instead of a hoodie, maybe a shirt, to say, I am still Jamie Ben-Israel, the business person, and I'm moving forward. But I still can wear a hat and grow my beard, and we're in quarantine. So I think there should be a balance of both. Not saying, okay, now I'll become Jamie Ben-Israel, that I'm in Silicon Valley in my basement trying to do stuff. I'm both. I'm still both, and I want you to be inspired by me moving forward, and that can be inspired by me, not just by content, but also by the visuals you have presenting. So for example, I put flowers, and usually put yellow flowers, because yellow it's naturally relates to sun, so it makes people feel a little bit better. And sometimes I will wear a t-shirt, and that's okay, but at least there is two sides, right? There's the side that, oh, I'm in COVID, but there's also a side of like, you know, we're still a business, and this will pass through, and we're moving forward.
So just to conclude with your business itself, is you did a really good job in detailing what you do as a communication expert and consultant. Has all of this video and phone and email hiding behind these methods of communication, no longer relying on smell, being able to see the full body, the handshake, is this good for your business? Is this going to elevate and force us to be more conscious of nonverbal more than ever? Is this good for your business? Where do we go from here for nonverbal?
I think there are two thoughts that come into my head when you say that. One is the Angela consultant from nonverbal, but also the Angela that is a business person. And I will start with the Angela, with the business person, because I think it's really important. I believe that unfortunately there will be a disconnect and create a gap of people. And that will happen because of how people are in three factors of the life acting. One is their mindset. One is their time. Mindset, time, and money. Those are the three factors that will play really into where the people will go and how that will affect their life after COVID. Because mindset is really important. If you in a negative mindset, you will not be able to innovate, you will not be able to move forward, and it will affect your health. And when you live, let's say if you live in a negative emotion for, let's say I'm sad, I just felt sad for a minute, it will not have a big impact on me. But if I'm sad for a week, I'm sad for a month, what will happen, create negative impact on me neurologically, it will be harder to change. Mm-hmm. And it will become then a state or part of my personality, and it becomes a habit of my body, of my personality. Okay, that's scientifically proven. An emotion with a long period of time does not become just an emotion, become a state, becomes a personality, and later on becomes a disease or disease. Okay, mm-hmm. That's on mindset. On time, where we invest in time, do you take the time to build? Do you take the time right now to bring those connections and build your relationships? Where do you invest your time? Do you invest your time on the couch, chilling, watching TV, watching the news, or you invest your time in building new partnerships because people are available now, building your business to the next level, reinventing, pivoting? Where do you invest your time? That also create the gap. And the last thing, which is the third thing, is the money. What do you do with your money? Some people will be spending, some people will be saving, some people will be investing. And so that's also, I think, will create a separation, unfortunately. So those three things, mindset, time, and money, are really important to look at, because that will put you here or there in the future, right?
I love it. I love it. That's such a great way to conclude. Angela, what's the first thing you're going to do? I know you share your time between Montreal and Toronto. What is the first thing you're going to do after COVID? Are you gonna party? Are you gonna pop bottles at the club? Are you gonna go for a nice dinner? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to make a party in Montreal and Toronto for sure. For sure.
Well, I
For
can't wait
sure.
for the. I'll bring the dip. I can't wait for the invite.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to be with people, have fun, laugh, and enjoy a drink and just catch up, hug. I need those hugs.
Yeah,
I'm a
wait for the
physical
hugs.
person. I need those hugs. So yeah, and I'm excited. We're launching another business with COVID. We partner up with another partner of mine, and we going to help entrepreneurs pivot into the digital world and help them
Awesome.
promote them there. So follow Virtual Connections with an X. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna pop that. I'll pop all the links. There's a lot of things going on with you and I, so I'll make sure that everyone has all of your links to hit you up on all these platforms. Thank you so much for your time. It was a really good way to
Thank
start
you.
our Monday.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll see you back in Dollard.
Yes.
See you later.
Bye.